where we left off, let's see. In the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says in the 58th verse of the 2nd chapter, a yogi has the senses under control and is able to withdraw or externalize them at will, just as a tortoise is able to extend or withdraw its limbs into its shell. To fulfill their duties within the world, yogis turn their attention to worldly matters. But if they want to get in touch with their true self, they withdraw their attention within. They do not identify with the body, the thoughts, or the feelings. And this is why they remain inwardly untouched by the disappointments and hurts of the world. Two specific problems that we encounter in the Anahata Chakra, the Sanskrit name for the heart, are worldly attachment and dependency. Often we feel we are tied to someone, but are not necessarily happy about the relationship. A communal bond can be found everywhere in nature and is important for the maintenance of social order. But if we have fulfilled our duties in life and are still unable to release ourselves from the constant worry of family and possessions, this indicates a false sense of attachment. And, apart from the ego, this is one of the biggest hurdles on the spiritual path. How can we recognize whether our feelings express dependency or genuine love? There is a very simple test for this. Love brings joy, not sadness. Love shows understanding and provokes no arguments. Love provides security and makes no demands. Love grants freedom and knows no jealousy. Just like self-interested affection, feelings of resentment and revenge are also types of attachment that bind us. The body dies, but the attachment, does not disappear and binds us for several lifetimes. The cause of all problems is mamata. Mama means mine in Sanskrit. Mamata means dependency or attachment. Attached to mine. Mamata is a strong binding force that pulls us towards our desires and expectations. Mamata clings to us like a leech and sucks out our spiritual power. Its companions are asha, hope/expectation, and trishna, thirst or desire, longing. For as long as these exist within us, we are unable to reach our goal. The following story shows us this clearly. A master once approached a farmer to remind him of his true duty in life. He said to him, "Now that your son is grown and has taken over the work on the farm, it is time for you to dedicate your life to your spiritual perfection." But the farmer, who clung firmly to his family and possessions, replied, "It is still far too soon. I want to wait until my son is married and has an heir, and then I will come to you, master." Several years later, the master visited the farmer again. In the meantime, several grandchildren had been born, so the master said, "Now your house and farm are secure. You can come with me." But as before, the farmer vehemently declined, saying, "Do you not see that they need me? Who will look after my grandchildren when the young ones are working in the fields?" So the master left alone again. Shortly afterwards, the farmer died, and because of his strong attachment to his family, he was born again as a calf on his own farm and grew into a strong bull that was used by the young farmer for cultivating the fields. When the master visited the village again, he recognized the farmer in animal form and again offered to take him with him. But as always, the farmer was not ready for this. "What would my son do without me? He has bought a new field and has no other draught animal." Exhausted by the hard work, he died after a few years and, in turn, was born on his former farm, but this time as a dog. Vigilantly, he made his rounds about the estate. However, when he wanted to come closer to his grandchildren, he was chased away by his own son, who even threw stones at him, although he was treated well by his family in all other ways. He was unable still to overcome his attachment and go with the master when he again visited the village. The farmer, in the form of the dog now, said, "Who would guard the house if I went?" He worried it would be an easy target for riffraff and thieves. And so it went. Year after year, the master called on the farmer, who, because of his attachment, continued to sink to lower and lower levels of consciousness over several lifetimes. He became a snake, and finally a worm that eked out its existence in the cowshed of his former farm. Still undisturbed by these external transformations, his inner attachment to his relatives and his farm remained, preventing him from following the master and going towards God. One master was in the habit of repeating only 2 words in his satsang. Satsang means a true sangha, association. These 2 words were cut and unite. In this way, he expressed that we must first sever our old habitual worldly relationships to be able to unite with the divine. Just as seeds die in the earth in order to germinate, we must first give up and detach from everything in order to reach our goal. Dependency is the cause of most ills. From dependency arise expectation and demands, and these in turn give rise to anger. We become angry if someone refuses us something that we wanted, or if something that we depend upon is taken away. If we do not purge ourselves of these impure stirrings of emotion that originate in the lower chakras, we can again lose everything that we have gained through spiritual striving and the grace of the Guru, as the following parable shows. Such a story we'll leave for next time. But for now, we'll leave it at there, as we have been discussing the nature of the Anahata Chakra, and it is at this place in our spiritual evolution where people may get stuck for quite some time. So much attachment is in the heart, and it's difficult to navigate the forest of those threads that bind us to the world. But one day, we shall go even beyond the Anahata Chakra, the heart, which by itself is still a great realization on the spiritual path. So thank you for listening. We'll read more soon.